everything changes.
Okay, welcome to video number 3, and now that you guys have your EIN and your sales tax certificate and you understand how to get going within the federal government and within your state and possibly your county, depending, again, like we mentioned in the last video, depending on how your state and city are set up. I gave you how it is for Florida. So those of you that are here in Florida, congratulations, you have a step ahead of everyone else. If you don't know how it works in your state, again, a CPA local to you will be able to help you. There's a lot of good questions answered online, but a lot of those websites and Department of Revenue sites are really confusing. And unless you have somebody giving it to you step by step like I'm doing right now, sometimes it can be impossible to figure out, and I understand that. The IRS.gov federal website is pretty much the same for everyone. I'm sure there's a little difference depending on your situation, but for the most part, that's standard. The state is where it gets a little confusing. So if you have a ton of problem with the state, please try to do it on your own or talk to someone locally, because I don't know how Iowa or Kansas or Texas or California work. I'm just not familiar, but I do have a lot of people in those states that I talk with, so I might be able to find you somebody to help if you can't figure it out on your own. Don't kill yourself or spend weeks and weeks and weeks. If you try and you can't figure it out, please reach out to me. So we're gonna move into the next spot, which is gonna be eBay. We're gonna start with eBay, and then I'm gonna show you eBay, Poshmark, and Amazon, how to break down each section of those so that you can add them to your accounting. We're gonna start with eBay invoices. We're gonna start with how to read them, what's on them, how to move them over to Excel, and how to save them to your computer so you have them as a record in the event that you ever got an audit or that you had to submit it to the IRS, etc. So let's jump over back into the computer. I'll start with eBay and I'll show you how to save all of those to your computer, and then we'll move on to the next platforms. Okay, so in this video, I'm gonna show you the eBay invoices. I'm gonna show you how to find them, how to open them, how to save them to your computer, so in case you ever get an audit in the future, God forbid, or if you ever need to go back and look at something within the last 18 months, that's how far back the invoices will go. So you're just gonna go to Seller Account tab. This is the Account Summary tab, and I'm just showing you guys one of our little accounts here, and you will be able to see a account summary of the latest invoice amount. So this is showing May 2019. It's going to show you kind of a recap of all of that. You can change the dates here. The most important thing we want to look at is to the right. It says invoices. So you can select any of the invoices all the way back 18 months. Now, once you select one, you can open it up and view the individualized, what they call line item fees, credits, promotions up here using these tabs. You can see each item. Now this starts over on the 15th of each month, so it's only going to show you from the 15th on. If you want to see something prior to the 15th of the current month, then that's when you would have to come up here and open an invoice. Now I've already opened June of 2018, so I want to go ahead and show you guys the June 2018 invoice, which is going to be here. I will go ahead and make this bigger for you guys. Hopefully this will work. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down. So this is an old invoice, and let's say I needed to look back at June. So the top account summary is your previous balance and your payments. It's going to show you the insertion fees for the month. So this particular month I paid $74.50. Obviously I have a $60 base premium store fee, so I must have went over, they're 10 cents each, so I must have went over by 745 listings. Advanced listing upgrade fees, $1.50. I paid for like a bold or a subcategory. I think I was testing something. Final value fees, $332.51. My subscription one-time fee, which is $60. That's an eBay subscription fee. The shipping fees that I paid, promoted listing fees, and then the subtotal invoice was $560. Top rated plus discount of 30, credits of 17, promoted listing fee credits of $6, total credits $53, and then the total due is $386 after it subtracted all of that. Then you can scroll down and you can see every single thing that I've done this month. So I make payments every couple of days, $40, $50, $60, just to keep the bill down. My top rated discount, 29%. everything you just saw at the top in totals is going to be down here individualized. Now, there's two ways, and we're going to talk about these later when we input them, that you can use this invoice as you go along each month to update your QuickBooks or your Excel. You can wait until the end of each month and use this invoice and individually input each one of these lines. An insertion fee would fall under the subscription and fee category, which again, I'll talk about in a future video, but you could go ahead and input for this month, insertion eBay fee, $74. That would be one expense. Or you could sit and every single day that you have insertion fees, you can input them. That's sort of how we do it. Now, I know that sounds silly, but the reason that we do it every day, one, is so that we can keep on it each day and we don't have to wait an entire month. The second reason is eBay's invoices run from the 15th to the 15th. They don't run from the 1st to the 30th. And the problem with that is now you're mixing months, and I don't like that. Especially at the end of the year when it runs December 15th through January 15th, you'd have to go back and manually do 15 days of December and 15 days of January in order to separate them out between fiscal years. And so that's kind of a pain in the butt as well. So we just input them every single day as they come. As you track your invoice, you can see, for example, May 16th, here's all the ones. So on May 16th, at the end of the day, we can just go in and input all these final value fees, the total, and the items, and what have you. Now, if you're tracking your individual inventory items, you would absolutely have to do it individually as well, because you'll need to know each item's fee if you're going to track them line item by line item, which I'm going to show you in a future video as well. This may not make sense right now, but later when I show you how to input each item individually, record the sell price, record the cost of goods, record the fees to see the profit you're making, you'll understand what I mean. So this is the invoice. That's how you read it. You can get your total for all the numbers up here at the top, or you can individually do it item by item by item as you go, day after day after day. Now, if you're going to do this, you have to keep up on it, because if you wait weeks and weeks on end, you're going to come back and have to sit down and type in weeks and weeks of information. If you're only selling one item a day, it may not be too bad. But as you can see here, we're listing hundreds of items and selling hundreds of items. It becomes a lot of work. So if you decide to go that route, make sure you're doing it every day, every other day, at the very least. If you go the end route, obviously you have to wait for the end of the month for the invoice to come out, or the 15th for that matter, in order to put in all those numbers. So that's the eBay invoice. That's how you get it. The top right corner for download is how you would download it and save it to your computer as a file. Now, regardless of how you do it, whether it's Excel, QuickBooks, GoDaddy, or whether you do it individualized or a total month, always download and save these invoices. The reason is after 18 months, you cannot pull them up anymore. They're not able to be viewed. At least I haven't tried by calling eBay. Only 18 months shows on your My Account summary. So save that. And then if for any reason in 2 or 3 years you get audited, because the IRS can audit you up to 7 years, 5 years for some cases, but up to 7 on most, you will have the entire list of invoices for eBay, and you can pull up all the records to show exactly what you paid and where you paid it and what you sold. So that's the number one thing to do, is save your eBay invoices, and that's how to read them and how to get your numbers. The second thing I'm going to show you how to do is export your sales on your eBay sales screen over to Microsoft Excel so that you have a record of the sales and you have something you can edit and sort for sales tax and state, etc. This invoice, you can't see where something sold. You can't tell if it's sales taxable. You can't sort it. You can't edit it. You can't do nothing. This is just to read the numbers. So I want to show you how to sort and edit things over on Excel. So let's jump over there and check that out.